Good afternoon, church. Pastor Craig here once again. Midweek greeting. Happy Wednesday to you. It's great to be back after a week of vacation when we were able to be up and help our kids move into their new place. It's also great to be back on routine now with doing midweek greetings on Wednesday. I want to share with you a verse that I've been thinking a fair bit about lately. Wait for the Lord, be strong, and take heart. And wait for the Lord. Psalm 27, verse 14. I've been thinking about that verse lately because I've found myself in situations where I've had to do a lot of waiting. You know, being back in medical treatments involves a lot of waiting. Just last night, I had to go into Regina for an MRI. But it didn't start by just going to Regina for the MRI. First of all, I had to wait to talk to a doctor to decide whether the MRI was needed. Then I had to wait for the doctor to give the referral to the scheduling department. In my case, it was the scheduling department at the cancer clinic, who then had to get me in touch with the scheduling department and at the MRI department. And then we got the date set, and then I had to wait for the date to actually come when I would go down to Regina and have the procedure. And when I got down to the hospital, then I had to wait in the waiting room. And then I had to go in and have the test done. And even the test itself, having an MRI done, involves a lot of waiting because all you do is lay absolutely still and let the machine do its work. And so I laid there and laid there and laid there and waited and waited and waited. By the way, it is a fantastic time to spend time with the Lord because there's not very many distractions when you're inside an MRI machine other than the noise that it makes. There's nothing to look around and see. And so you got times to be alone with the Lord. It was a great time of spending time in prayer. But you know, then the test is done. You don't get the results right away. Got to wait now for the radiologist to look at the report, write their report, and then finally it'll come back. And it's just a lot of waiting. And those of you that have been through medical procedures will know that, and tests will know that. And this is not a rant against the medical system at all. That's just the reality we find ourselves in. And it's not just the medical system. Every system in life involves waiting. In fact, everything in life involves waiting. Even when I'm the only one involved in making a decision, there's a time of waiting while I process the information and actually make the decision. Waiting is just part of life. And what does this verse say? That while we're waiting, we should be strong and take heart. But this verse is not so much about what we should do in a time of waiting, nor does it describe how we should wait, but rather what our eyes should be focused on while we are waiting, while we are in the situations where we have to wait, in whatever area of life it is. Did you notice that the verse bookends with the same statement being made beginning and end? Wait for the Lord. Some translations add the word patiently in there. Wait patiently for the Lord. You know, there was a time where I was going in for a medical treatment, and the day before I was meeting with the specialist and we were reviewing what he was going to do, and I looked him square in the face and I said, "Do you realize there is nothing you are going to do tomorrow that is going to make me better?" Kind of looked at me with a puzzled look on his face. I said, "Blah, but I believe that God has given you skills and talents and abilities, and that He is going to work through you tomorrow, and He is the one who's going to be making me better." You know, in the book of Ephesians, I was reminded this last week as I had opportunity to worship with the church that we used to attend up in Prince Albert, and was listening to the sermon, and a statement was made that reminded me of this. In the book of Ephesians, the book that we've just finished studying, Paul uses a statement 5 times. The statement is "in the heavenly realms." It's actually only used in the book of Ephesians. It's not used in any other book of the Bible. And yet Paul uses it 5 times. And what Paul is doing is he's modeling for us keeping a spiritual perspective in the midst of all of the earthly stuff that he was talking about in the book of Ephesians. And there was a lot of it, and we've gone through it, and I'm not going to re-preach that. But I point out that was Paul's perspective through all of it. He kept his eyes on Jesus. He kept his eyes on the eternal perspective. He kept his eyes on the Lord, the one who is at work. What do you find yourself waiting for these days? You find yourself anxiously waiting to hear answers about things, or decisions to be made, or perhaps to receive things? Do you find yourself in situations where you don't even know what the outcome could be and it feels hopeless? Wait for the Lord. It's a focus shift. It's a shift to acknowledging that even though this is tough and there's still things I've got to do and decisions I got to make and ways that I'm going to be involved in the process and I still got to say things, this is not a verse that says, throw up your hands and do nothing. God's got it all. No, it's in the midst of going through that time of waiting and processing. Keep your eyes on the Lord. Wait for the Lord. Acknowledge that He is the one who's working in this situation. He is going to work in this situation. And as you wait patiently for Him, that is what gives us the strength. That's what enables us to take heart. In fact, the King James puts it, wait on the Lord, be of good courage, and He shall strengthen thine heart. What are you waiting for today? What in life causes you to be anxious or uncertain? I'd encourage you not just to focus on the issue, though you will probably need to do that in order to make some decisions, but do so in the bigger picture of waiting for the Lord. God is the one who's working in the situation. God is the one who will be glorified in the situation. And as you wait for the Lord and focus your eyes on Him and have a heavenly perspective in terms of what He is doing, allow Him to give you the strength you need, and may that give you courage, and may you take heart. Wait for the Lord. Be strong and take heart, and wait for the Lord. Have a great day, church. Just a few things to think about as we go into this week, and as we look forward to worshiping together on Sunday. I'd encourage us, let's be the church God has called us to be, intentionally becoming people who embrace and reveal His love, even as we wait. We'll see you, church.